Guides to Classroom Management. The purpose of this research is to find new ideas that will increase teachers' effectiveness and boost the achievement of students to bring sense of order, structure, and accomplishment to the classroom. This research will include examples of implementation of new methods of management on a daily basis. Behavior problems are the first problems that cause trouble in classroom management. Strategies should be applied by teachers to stop disruptive behavior, to create an effective learning classroom environment by minimizing problematic behavior. The time that teachers spending handling disciplinary problem is the time taken away from instruction. Teachers, instead of spending time on education, they spend much time to implement discipline and control students, which most of the time it results in students' suspension and expulsion, which makes students suffer academically. Depth of knowledge of teachers is another essential thing that helps to maintain classroom management. Expert teacher demonstrates high level of knowledge and skill to manage their classroom by developing productive and creative lesson plans and activities. Lack of student teaching preparation is another main issue that our society is facing. Lack of student teaching preparation will result in lack of knowledge of teachers to face different type of students with different skills and different level of understanding of concept. Student participation in class is another essential issue that needs to be considered. Students participate in the classroom through an active responding activities. Students raise their hands before they want to talk. Teachers prepare lectures, and along with their lecture, active responding and interaction questions must be considered. Using active cards to provide an effective method of classroom management also is required. This picture shows my students working together to create a to complete a collaborative assignment, which is kind of implementation of POGIL, process-oriented guided inquiry learning, and student-centered activity. So kids get the guidelines for the activity, and the rest of the class they work with the materials that are provided and also the guidelines that are provided through teacher. As you see in this picture, students are focused about their activity. There's no chaos. Students are completely focused on the assignment. So it's important for teachers to know what kind of assignment to assign for the students based on their level of understanding and how is it related to the curriculum and how it is related to the age of the students and the type of the students that are in classroom. So if you know about the interests of your students, you can create activities that will keep them engaged and students will love it and will work, and even they will not understand how fast the time is passing by. Teachers should spend time developing knowledge about the students' home lives and cultural backgrounds to maintain particular methodology to meet their needs. Teachers with less of information about cultural diverse will misunderstand significant features and dimensions of student identity. According to my personal experience, with 8 years of experience of teaching chemistry in Iran with 9 certificates of merit received from the school district, I was not successful to manage my classes in the United States the first time that I started teaching. I decided to advance my studies and research to solve the problem by implementing different methods of teaching according to American students' culture. And application of techniques along with culture adjustment helped me to become a successful teacher with great classroom management skills. As you see, this is my classroom, and actually this is one of the students that has kind of learning disabilities, but he's having problem to focus and concentrate, and that's the reason that he's trying to, let's say, not follow the rules and regulations of the classroom. But as you see here, since he's busy working with an instrument that he is interested in. So he's not making chaos. He's not talking to anyone. He's completely focused on his assignment and doing his job. And that's how he is. Anytime that I give him an assignment according to his skills, he's completely busy and he's doing his assignment, he's completing it. Here also you see three groups completely busy working on their assignments. These are two pictures of my science lab classes. Students are working on science activity, and as you see, they don't even notice when I'm taking picture of them. So the advantages of successful classroom management: students are deeply involved in their activities. The students know what's expected of them, and they are generally pleased with it. A relatively small amount of time is lost to confusion, which is really important. Students should not be confused. Everything should be clearly explained so that they will be just learning and understanding new stuff. Anytime that the students realize that they're wasting time, that's the time that they will start talking and creating chaos in classroom. The atmosphere in classroom should be work oriented. Being capable of putting time to good use, knowing how to behave with problematic students, when and how to praise a student in classroom, how to establish a system of rewarding students, are the key items to to establish a great classroom management, especially dealing with problematic students individually, and also praising them instead of punishing them. Is a great keyword for classroom management. Making decisions and sticking on them, being consistent on the decisions that you're making in classroom. That's very important. Students are watching you and they want to know if you're consistent. If you're consistent, that's it. You can establish a discipline. Being capable of short-term and long-term planning. You should be able to plan your lesson plans in daily basis, weekly basis, and long-term semester or for a year. So students will realize that you're completely capable of being flexible and spontaneously responding on lesson plans. Knowing how to evaluate the situation in classroom is another essential thing. So constant evaluation gives the possibility of analysis of information, and that makes for better management. For example, for my classes, I always use quizzes at the end of the week, and that creates discipline. That makes my students to know that every week there is quiz, and they have to study for that quiz. And since I'm consistent, I'm not changing it according to any reason. I'm not changing it, so they know that they have to study, and they get used to it. Biblical point of view of instruction and classroom management. Apostle Paul says in 2 Timothy 3:16 to 17 that all scripture is God-breathed and is useful for teaching, rebuking, correcting, and training in righteousness, so that the servant of God may be thoroughly equipped for every good work. Therefore, the Christian educator wants the word to see God's grace and glory through students. God will be glorified when teachers guide students to successful understanding of their different gifts. Christian educators should always bear in mind that Jesus does not call for perfection. Rather, a wise Christian teacher should be reminded of the following examples of the shortcoming of Jesus' disciples. Matthew was a tax collector and not a writer. Peter was a fisherman who eventually denied Jesus. Thomas doubted in resurrection. James and John were selfish. Judah betrayed Jesus. Teachers' goal should not be only teaching the textbook, but to demonstrate commitment, integrity, and professionalism. Teachers should be able to implement structures to guide students to the proper attitude and behaviors. Learning should be fun, and integrity is an essential Christian value that the students should learn in a disciplined Christian classroom environment. Implementation of discipline will provide an educational environment to learn more. Molding and shaping a Christian character of a young generation will mold and shape the future of the character of the nation. Thanks for watching it.